my God, what a lovely Saturday afternoon audience. The glamorous ladies on the front row, you two. You like the Real Housewives of Salford Precinct here, aren't you? Drowning your sorrows because Wilco's is closing. It's a shame, isn't it? Are you okay there? You managed to get into those fucking tight jeans as well? Got your mum's leggings on, have you, today? Oh, calm down, everybody, because I'm so excited to be here. In fact, I was just relaxing in the dressing room upstairs. I was on the phone to my friend Cheryl. Now, she's dead common and she works in Superdrug. She said, how is the comedy thing going? I said, the comedy thing is going amazingly well because this afternoon I'm performing at one of the best comedy clubs in not only the northwest of England, but the whole of the UK. The Frog and Bucket in the amazing city of Manchester. Yes. And do you know what she said to me? She went, oh, the Frog and Bucket in the amazing city of Manchester. That sounds fucking shit. She said, have you never thought about going on live at the Apollo yet? I was like, no, you stupid bitch. Have you ever thought about working in Boots, though? Oh, we're off, everybody. How are we? It's lovely to be here. Are you going to sit with your legs wide open like that during my sex? It's very distracting. Have you been double jabbed, mate? I got double jabbed on the way here, actually. The toilet's in Pure Gym. Pride weekend, isn't it? Now, before I start with the comedy and being really funny, bitch, I want to start with a bit of a story. Is that okay? I want to tell you what happened at my gig last night. So my agent sent me to this very gross kind of villagey type place, very backward. Oh, it was, you've probably not heard of it. It was called Stockport. Anyway, and what happened was I misgendered someone accidentally. So I'd just been on stage. I'd just been really, really funny. Thank you. And I went backstage with the other comedians and I said something that I thought was very, very simple. I said, oh, Sharon's headlining tonight. Would she like a cup of tea? Extremely normal thing to say, isn't it? But no, apparently not. Isn't it a normal thing to say? Yeah, but apparently not, because this fucking bitch, this absolute fucking bitch comedian, who, bearing in mind, had not said a single word to me, not even said hello since I got there, got up to embarrass me and correct me in front of everybody else, yeah? She stood there and she said, I think we all know that Sharon's pronouns are they/them. I was like, oh, okay, actually, I didn't know that because I've never met Sharon before, but now I know it, I will respect it. I said, what are your pronouns? Condescending/cunt? Cunt at 5 p.m, everybody, can you believe it? Oh, it's difficult these days, isn't it, not to offend people, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know whether, have we got any old people in today? You're over there, love, I mean, well, she's borderline, isn't she? I mean, she's keeping up with that hairdo, but I mean, listen. She's been to the hairdressers today, everybody. I mean, they were closed, but she's been. Anyway, love, what was your name? Helen? Yes, love. Do you remember this phrase when you were growing up many years ago? Who's she, the cat's mother? Do you remember that, anyone? You used to always hear it, didn't you? I thought my mum was just going fucking mad. I mean, we didn't even have any cats. We had hamsters and a dwarf rabbit. I was like, Mum. Anyway, I was in Asda not long ago. My mum said, oh, who's she, the cat's mother? I was like, Mum, you cannot say that anymore. She said, what can you say? I said, you have to say, who are they/them? The cat's non-binary legal guardian. And then we were watching the James Bond film. Give me a cheer if you watched the last James Bond film. Wasn't it shit, everybody? Yes. And at the end, we had that conversation. You always have the same conversation, don't you, when you finish the James Bond film? Oh, who's going to be the next James Bond? I said to my mum, who's going to be the next James Bond? She said, I've been thinking about this quite a lot, and I'd really like it to be either Martin Kemp or Bradley Walsh. It's like, Mum, that's a very interesting choice, but probably very unlikely, actually, because we are in a more fluid society now, aren't we? I said it's more likely to be a black actor or a disabled person or even a woman, Helen, yes? And my mum said to me, oh, I'm glad your nan's not here for all this gender shit. I said, why, Mum? She said, can you imagine how confused she'd be watching Coronation Street one night and all of a sudden Ken Barlow's being played by Whoopi Goldberg? But I love coming to Manchester. It's a very accepting and inclusive place, isn't it? Yes. And last night, I was in the Village of Gays, and I was actually talking to somebody who identified as a fire extinguisher. Although looking back, I was fucked off my face on ketamine, so potentially, I think I was just having a conversation with a fire extinguisher. But nice to see so many people out and about. Do you remember we couldn't do this? It wasn't long ago that everything was virtual. And I couldn't wait to get back out there and perform and see live events again. So the first thing I went to when restrictions were lifted, I went to a concert. I went to see Gabrielle. Anybody know Gabrielle? Do not cheer for that bitch, honestly. Because it was the worst show ever, I got a refund. I complained. Because of the eye patch and the face mask, you just didn't get the full value of the show, did you, to be honest with you? And now we're over all that shit, but now we've got this cost of living crisis, haven't we? How are you coping with the cost of living, Helen? Are you on OnlyFans yet, babe? I thought I recognised that necklace. And those tits. No. Do you know what OnlyFans is, love? Do you have a phone? Do you have the phone, Helen? You might have to upgrade from your Motorola, and then you can top up your pension with this one. I mean... Everyone's doing it, aren't they? Everyone's on. Even my mum and dad, they're doing 3 live cam shows a day these days. So they can afford to get new garden furniture, for fuck's sake. I'm struggling with the cost of living crisis. In fact, I was buying drugs the other day from my local dealer. I had to pay for them with fucking Klarna. Not even funny, is it, to pay for a very substandard gram of coke in 3 small, manageable monthly instalments? What the fuck was that? I've just got... Have I been heckled by Gollum? But thank you for asking, Helen. The comedy's going really well. Last year, I left my day job, and now I'm a full-time comedian. Yeah, which is great. It's on my passport. It's official. And when people ask me what I do for a living at parties or if I'm getting arrested, I say to them, I'm a comedian. What do they always say? Tell us a joke. I know, and I'm like, fuck off. That's rude. People pay good money for this. I mean, not today, but sometimes they do. Do you know what I mean? My friend Cheryl, she's a prostitute. When she tells people what she does for a living, she doesn't offer to wank them off for free, does she? She charges them £2.50. £10 for you. She'd have to pull an all-nighter to get those fucking jeans off. But it is good to be back doing this. Do you remember the first lockdown, everyone? It seems like ages away now. Do you remember that, Helen? The first lockdown. Do you remember how strict it was? And we were all doing as we were told, weren't we? No. Anyway, I was at an orgy. Please do not judge me, because it was mainly full of key workers there anyway. And it was on a Thursday night at 6 o'clock, so technically they were all giving themselves a clap. But it's been, I was working it out the other day, it's been 3 years, just over 3 years since we, all went through the most historical, kind of life-changing and life-threatening situation of, history, haven't we? We all know what I'm talking about, don't we, Helen? You're nodding there. Have a little guess, love. She doesn't have a fucking clue what day it is, does she? I'll help you, Helen. Of course I am talking about the day that Philip Schofield came out as a gay live on television. Do we all remember that? It worked out really well for him, didn't it, actually? Yes. Was anyone surprised, though, seriously? Did anyone give a shit? Were you all more surprised he has to do those We Buy Any Car adverts, if anything? I still can't believe it took that fucking idiot 59 years to come out as a great big gay. But he could not even wait 24 hours to see the Queen's dead body, could he? It's such a long time, though, isn't it? 59 years. I mean, it only took him 30 seconds to tell how much my Vauxhall Corsa was worth. As he was rimming me in the back of it. I'm only joking. It was actually his brother. Oh, it was 35 years ago. It's fine. It is Pride weekend. Have we got any gays in today? What? Something was making a little fanny fart noise over there. Someone's been nominated. Are you the... Have they just come out for you, yeah? You've been outed. Did you want to be outed? Anybody else? No? Anybody? What about you, love? You a lesbian? No? You might want to tell your hairdresser. Lesbian number 1. It's good, isn't it, being part of the LGBTQI... Oh, that fucking acronym. Does anyone even know what that acronym is anymore? Do you know what it is? Gay. It's got a number at the end of it now. It's got number 2. What the fuck? I tell you how long that acronym has become now, right? I was reading it the other day to my boyfriend, right? And I could see the woman who's just moved in next door through the kitchen window. Do you know what she was doing? She was typing it into her iPhone, thinking she was connecting to my BT broadband. So it's Manchester Pride this weekend. I mean, I had a little look before. Most of those people didn't look like they had much to be proud about, honestly. It was like the hills of eyes on that bloody street. But people say all the time, why'd you have gay pride? Is it like, do you need it anymore? You've got these rights and everyone's equal. And I said, no, they're not. And I'm going to shock you today, everyone, with the fact, right? Why we still have gay pride, right? You all listening? So the UK is one of 59 countries, this is barbaric, the UK is one of 59 countries where it is still the law that every single gay must complete at least 6 months compulsory cabin crew service for a budget airline of the government's choice. Have you done yours yet? It's terrible, that, isn't it? I got sacked from mine as well, do you know what I mean? Got cut short, I got sacked, something very small that got blown out of all proportion, to be honest with you. Something to do with leaving a door open. Oh my God, do you want to hear my coming out story? 4 of you. Do you want to hear my coming out story? Yes, that's more like it, thank you, because it's much more interesting than sitting on a sofa with Holly Willoughbitch, isn't it? Right, so, I never came out as a full-on gay. My mum just presumed I was one when she found my poppers in my school bag when I was 12 years old. Oh, Helen, love, do you know what poppers are? I think you might struggle with this. Oh, you do? I was wondering why you're so red. Is there anybody here that doesn't know? Give me a cheer. This lady over here, you don't know what poppers are? Oh, right, OK, well, I'll tell you. Actually, I'm going to tell you another story. So, last year, when I was at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival doing my very successful one-man-hour solo show... Yes, and I don't know whether you know much about the Fringe, but not only do you do your show, you have to spend the rest of the time promoting it to get people to watch it. I mean, I did quite well with audience members by using Grindr. I mean, it was verging on prostitution, if anything, but it was fine. And I got to this gig one afternoon where I was supposed to promote myself by just doing a little 5-minute spot. And when I got there, it's full of children. I said to the woman, what's going on? She said, did you not read the email? It's family friendly. I'm like, what the fuck did you invite me for, love? I was like, if I wanted a job as a kids entertainer, I would have clearly got a job as a Prince Andrew impersonator, wouldn't I? Anyway, this woman's freaking out, and she's like, well, you're on next, what are you going to do? She's like, can you tone down your material? I was like, listen, love, I'm a professional. Of course I can tone down my material. Anyway. So I'm explaining to this 5-year-old boy what poppers are. And I'll explain it to this sheltered lady over there the same way. OK, so poppers is a little liquid that dirty gays have to sniff quite vigorously. Is that right, yeah? To get your nose right in there, don't you, mate? You get your nose right in there, you sniff it, love, and then it gives you a bit of a head rush and a high, but ultimately it will relax the anal hole, ready for penetration. You're welcome, thank you. Do you know what I mean? Fucking ungrateful. I mean, you're very lucky, actually, most of you not to be gays, because that's a fucking faff, isn't it? Can you imagine going through that procedure every time you wanted him to treat you, eh? You are together, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, that was great. She looks scared. You sure, love? Do you want to blink for me? Do you want me to ask for Angela? She's off today, you'll have to cope. Yes, so, right, so what was your name, sorry? John, what happens after you've finished sniffing the poppers? What's next? Your bum goes bigger, then what do you do? No, mate, you've missed a very important step. Then you need to douche. Yes, this is like a procedure gays use. It's like a little water pump to prepare themselves for the next step. So that bloody hose pipe ban wasn't good news for the gays last year, was it? Where do you live, Helen, love? Scarborough. What's your water like there? Is it hard or soft? Helen, quick sticks, please. We're all waiting. It's hard. Stop douching then, please. Honestly, stop douching. It's not good for you. It's the same where I live. The water is so hard. I mean, it says it all, doesn't it, when you have to descale your own anal hole more than the kettle. We're learning if we're not laughing, if anything, aren't we? Anyway, so I feel like this story has been derailed by that woman. So I'll get back on track now. So we all know what poppers are now. We did that whole segment just for your benefit there, love. So my mum finds my poppers in my school bag when I'm 12 years old. She says to me, what are these for? And I'm thinking, God, I can't tell her what they're for, can I? Because nobody wants to see their own mum's anal hole expand whilst they're sat there in the living room watching the never-ending story. So I casually said to my mum, oh, you know, they're just for cleaning CDs with. That didn't turn out to be a good one, did it? Because I came home from school the next day to find my mum off her fucking face. She's got the poppers in one hand, she's got a J-cloth in the other. She says, what the fuck is this? It's ruined the Lighthouse Family CD. And your dad's passed out upstairs in an expanded anal hole. That is how I came out as a gay, everybody. I told you it was much more interesting, wasn't it? Oh my God! But now, like, I'm like an older gay now. You're very lucky to have me here. It was my birthday the other day, everybody. Thank you. Helen, have a little guess, love. Come on. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask your age. It's very rude, isn't it, to ask a lady her age? How much do you weigh, Helen? I know. Come on, have a little guess, Helen. 47? What the fuck? Can you believe it? She's saying this to me. She's like the old woman from Titanic over there. No, Helen, I wasn't 47, you blind bitch. I'm not talking to her anymore. Can you believe that? Have you got a more sensible guess, please, love? 33, thank you. Well, I was actually 41, so you weren't that far off, but gays do look younger than normal people, don't we? Apart from that one. No, we do look younger than normal people. Apart from all those terrible gays that do loads of crystal meth and go to orgies all the time. But I stopped all that in July, actually, yes. Gay or normal? Gay or normal, mate? Quick sticks, answer. Are you gay or normal? Okay, and what's your name, mate? Alan. How old are you, Alan? Fucking hell, as I said, gays look much younger than normal people, don't we? Alan's 44. God knows what she'd hazard a guess at your age. It'd be triple figures, wouldn't it? I am feeling old, though, now. Do you know what I mean? Even when have you got any drivers in the room today? No? That's great. You're a driver, yes? In fact, I'm driving all these gigs all over the country. My friend told me to use this app called Waze. Have you heard of Waze, anyone? Oh, my God. Cheryl said to me, use Waze to get to your gigs. You'll get to your destination in the least amount of time possible. It's like, all right, then. I tried it. Got to my destination with the maximum amount of anxiety possible. Fucking hell, it goes on the most obscure routes, doesn't it, to go to places? Even coming here today, I came down country roads, back alleyways, I went through a graveyard. I thought, this is great. I saved 2 minutes on my journey by reversing through a Wickes car park. But the thing is now that I'm getting old, right? See if you do this. What was your name, my darling? Siobhan. So when I'm driving in the dark, I do this thing now. My mum used to do this. Now this is like, tells you you're getting old. When you're driving in the dark and you have to turn the music down so you can see better. Oh, what the fuck is that all about? My mum used to say that. I used to hear my mum, turn that racket down, I can't see anything. Oh, okay. What is she, that thing from Pan's Labyrinth? Do you know what I mean? It's terrible. I used to enjoy using two senses at one time. Now I can't. You need silence for fucking fog. And then I turned the radio on, like, and I put Capital FM on, right, thinking I'll listen to some pop music. Now I don't know any pop stars anymore. All of our musical legends are dead now, aren't they? You know what I mean? George Michael, Tina Turner, Rolf Harris. They're all dead, aren't they? So I think I'll put Capital FM on, listen to some pop music, yeah? Do you listen to pop music, Siobhan? Oh, she's so fucking difficult, Siobhan, isn't she? Who's your favourite pop star, Siobhan? Dua Lipa, did you say? I'm glad you interacted like that with me. Dua bastard Lipa, Siobhan, honestly. I thought that was a third world country. I'm not even joking. I'm sure at school, every year, we used to do a sponsored silence to raise money for the starving, dying children of Dua Lipa. And I said that joke not long ago, right, at this club in Blackpool. This woman got really upset and offended and ran at the stage. She said, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's not pronounced Dua Lipa, it's pronounced Dua Lipa. I was like, all right, thank you very much. Do I give a fucking shit? And Ariana Grande? Anybody? Ariana Grande? Oh, my God. I wrote my resignation letter to Debenhams in the 90s in that font. I mean, that deserved more, to be honest with you. It was only a few weeks ago I found out Justin Bieber wasn't even a lesbian. Do you know what I mean? Then I'm watching the Brits. Do you remember years ago, the Brits was like a really trendy thing to watch, wasn't it? And I was watching it the other week and I think, I don't know anyone on the Brits anymore, and the pop stars don't look or sound like pop stars. There was a rapper on there called Dave. Dave's not a rapper's name, is it? Dave's someone like you, isn't it? wearing cargo shorts with a biro behind your ear and fixing the immersion heater. Fucking Dave. Then there was a woman on there, like a dance artist, called Mabel. I mean, what the fuck? Mabel is not a pop star's name, is it? Mabel is an old woman who lives down the street. 75 cats who stinks of piss. So I'm watching the Brits with my mum. She says to me, oh, I do hope the bin bag man wins something. She meant the rag and bone man, didn't she? She's getting things on wrong all the time now, my mum, yeah? I rang her up during lockdown. She said, I can't talk right now. I said, why not, mum? She said, I'm watching my favourite programme. I said, what's that, mum? She said, Martin Luther King, the money-saving expert. It's like, mum, you might have to rewrite that speech. Oh, I'm going to have to go in a minute, everyone. I know. Can I stay at yours, Siobhan? Can I stay at yours? Oh, thanks, love. I mean, listen, it's nice to bring... I mean, when I first started doing comedy, there weren't that many gays doing it, so I was just getting booked to add diversity and, like, tick boxes. Do you know what I mean? But now I've had to write... There's more doing them, so I've had to write some material, so it's not ideal, to be honest with you. And where I live, in London, there's gays everywhere. Too many. I mean, you have to kick them out of the way like rats. Even the local Indian takeaway has just been taken over by a gay. Yeah? It's called Poppadom Preach. Oh, my God. But listen, it's not all, do you know what I mean? It's not all what it's cracked up to be. It's not happy-go-lucky, like, douching and sniffing poppers, is it, mate? And fisting your mates down the local leisure centre. Sometimes, for us people, it's very sad, isn't it? Very lonely being a gay. Do you know what I mean? For example, last year, Cadbury's released an advert for the cream egg, and it just showed two gays sharing a cream egg, yeah? And it got taken off air because there was 20,000 complaints against it. Yeah? I don't know what they're complaining about. They should see what I can do with a Toblerone. Or a Bounty. They'd know the taste of paradise, wouldn't they? Everyone, my name's Russell Arathoon. Enjoy your Pride weekend. Thank you very much.